All right, everyone. Welcome to another episode of DMing Truth&Tech. Let's see if we remember how to do this. I'm Mario Alvarado.
And I'm Daniel Escalante. Yes, that is my name. It's good to be back, everyone. Good to hear from you. And yeah, so excited to be doing this again.
Yeah, bro. This has been a while. I don't know how to... I don't even think we're going to worry too much about doing the right intro or stuff like that. But
yeah,
it really has been a while, man. It's just been hectic. I think... No, wait. Was the last time that we actually did an episode together, were we still in school?
I believe so, yeah.
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 We were
Afterwards, we tried a little bit of, kind of doing keeping up a conversation with individual episodes, it was just too weird.
Yeah. You're like, right, Mario?
No one.
Yeah, man, that was weird. Dude, it's been a while. But anyway, guys, we're happy to be able to start this episode. Daniel is obviously just coming out of a meeting, apparently, but he's happy to be here with us. I'm coming out of the park, apparently, but no, we're in quarantine right now, so we're basically at home. But we're happy that we could have this conversation, man. It's good to see you, honestly, bro. I know we've Skyped, we've FaceTime a few times already, obviously. But it's good to be back and talking about the stuff that we like to talk, right? We
yeah, absolutely.
Maybe we have to remind you the DMing Truth&Tech thing is the D stands for Daniel, M stands for Mario. It's just been a while. You might have forgotten, or you still don't get it. Neither do we, but we need a title. And so the DMing has to do with direct messages, which has direct messaging has gone up, by the way, because of the whole quarantine thing.
It has, that's been the way that people have been connecting. It's been awesome.
So our name is more relevant now, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Not
so under in a way, we called it.
Yeah, we called it. We called it, bro. Man, not under the right circumstances, probably, but there's just so many. There's been so many opportunities of learning during these times of this. Situation of virus going on and stuff like that. But even in the midst of it, one of the opportunities that has come up is to better use technology as an instrument. Remember you talked about that one time, using technology as an instrument. And right now is definitely one of those times. So we're happy to be back here and be able to talk, man, and just talk about what we're passionate about, bro. Technology and truth, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. So yeah, I guess let's just get into it. Mario, just share a little bit, or I guess both of us. Let's just share a little bit about what's been going on. A little update on what we've been up to, and what's changed in the past few months, past year, really.
Do you want to share, bro, all those fights we used to have about Apple versus Android? Do you want to give that update first? I'm sorry, I don't know if you saw that coming, but you should have.
You remembered.
Show them your iPhone, bro.
Oh man, okay. So I used two phones, and I did come over to the Note 10. I don't have it with me right now, but I did come over to the Note 10 for a little bit. Yes. Oh man. Yeah. It was interesting.
So you switched, bro. You made the switch.
I made the switch.
Do you regret it?
And I was sharing a little bit on Twitter. My experiences. I meant to make an episode about it, and share it with it. I just never got around to it. But yeah, man, Android has some nice stuff going on. I'll give it that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, in the end, we're both good companies, right? Samsung and Apple. They both make good phones.
And I think Samsung's now more than ever. Yeah, now more than ever, we've been seeing what really matters is how you use it and how you use it to connect with people. And so both platforms have, their advantages, disadvantages. But yeah, ultimately, it's everyone's been bridging. Making connections, so it's been really cool to see that happen.
Yeah, man, I love it. So anyway, that's a huge update. So I guess we can just call it. We could just switch. We can now technically switch the name to DMing Android fans, or I don't know, something like that, man. Because officially you've come to the dark side, and so welcome.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a big update. Anything else we talk about updating through talking about tech? I think one of the biggest one is just the way we're doing church now, man.
It's literally been flipped upside down the last few months. It's been trying to keep up. Yeah, it's been just trying to keep up with that roller coaster of changes.
It's crazy, man. And now technology is more relevant more than ever, right? It has been, obviously. But now, one of the crazy things is that people that didn't like or not didn't like it, but they weren't just too into it, have been in a way forced to use it now, right?
Yeah,
Given
exactly.
all these orders and stuff like that. Now, we're coming up in May now. Today's May 1st, and so some places, at least I know in Georgia, you guys are governor, I think, reopened
Yes,
officially
yeah,
some places, not everything, but
yeah,
it seems as if there's a glimpse of maybe the churches opening up again, the church
yeah,
buildings.
yeah,
Having said that, though, the dynamics have changed
yeah.
of how we do church, man. What has how do you want to share maybe the reaction of your people or my people or how you've managed this and stuff like that, and then
Yeah,
maybe we can go in and giving a few like tips and stuff like that of what can help and what could be beneficial,
yeah.
to people now using technology to do church.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've actually been very surprised and proud of my leadership teams at both churches. So for those of you that didn't know, I'm pretty sure we updated you guys on this, but I'm now pastoring two Hispanic churches here in Savannah, Georgia. And so when all of this happened, I was very proud of, I met with both boards. And, of course, the reaction was, you know what, we've got to protect people. And so we decided to close down our services and yeah, move over to more digital forms of ministry. And yeah, so far people have been excited by it. It's definitely just new territory, and I'm talking about from churches that didn't have that kind of like online presence before. So literally starting from zero, from the ground, and trying to build that following and trying to connect with people. But yeah, so we've been there. We stream 3 services every week: Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. I use, which I'll share with you guys in a bit, but I use Ecamm to be able to push that content to multiple platforms at the same time. And but yeah, the reaction has just been, it's new, it's different, but we've got to do something. And so I've been noticing that for a church, the number one priority, of course, is services for the adults, but also making sure that there's services for the kids too. And so both of my services were like, hey, you know what, we've got to do something for the kids. The adults have, their online services, but both of my kids departments were able to kind of use Zoom, and yeah, just kind of threw themselves into learning that and trying to figure out how to do classes on Zoom. So yeah, man, it's just been a growing learning opportunity, big time.
And I think that's great, man. The fact that people are just going at it,
Mm-hmm.
it's better than not doing anything at all. And
Yeah.
people have had to learn, right?
Yes.
How to do things. And that's given that the situation that, people have been forced, I don't want to make it seem like we already knew how it all worked. Like, oh, see, since we're tech savvy, we know how this works. I've been trying to figure this out as we go too, bro. And
Same.
and it's
Yeah.
not like, we don't consider ourselves super tech savvy, but we know our fair share on technology, right? We know our fair share on,
Yeah.
on, on some things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our podcast was called it's
Mm-hmm.
called Truth&Tech, right? That means we
Yeah.
know technology. So yeah, although it's been a
Yeah.
little bit easier to navigate through certain situations,
Mm-hmm.
this is still a learning process, man. There's been a learning
It
curve
is.
that
Yeah.
we've had to be able to figure out. And I'm
Yeah.
still learning, bro. Even this, we're using Ecamm right now. It's just amazing. I mean, I didn't even know existed before
Yeah.
this.
Me neither. Yeah. Me
We
neither.
talked about live streaming. All we thought about was, probably Facebook, YouTube. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
But there's so many other instruments, so many other tools out there that can make the streaming experience a lot better and meaningful.
Yeah.
So, like you said, in my case, I've tried to figure out the best way to get more people engaged and make it more accessible to someone who
Yeah.
is not so tech savvy,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And then we'll talk about right now about what tools we can use, how there's Zoom and how there's other stuff like that
Mm-hmm.
we're using Ecamm and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But at least the moment the reaction that I had, is people's like, well, how are we going to do it through internet? It's going to be hard, but we have no choice. Like what
Exactly.
other choice
Yeah.
did we have?
Yeah.
We
Exactly.
couldn't meet. Although some people, obviously some people wanted to meet, but obviously we weren't going to do
Mm-hmm.
that. The question is what tools are the best ones to use for the live stream experience to be a great one. And maybe we
Yeah.
could talk about, what tools we used and why we use those, because there should be a
Yeah.
reason to be using some and not others.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which ones are free? Which ones are worth paying for? Which ones are not worth paying for? What kind of
Yes. Yeah.
investment do you want to make as a church, or as an individual, to make the live streaming experience not only more professional, which if it looks good and it looks professional, that's good. That's always a plus. But I think you said something important when it comes to before quality. You just want before how it looks. You want to make sure that you have people willing to bring the content.
Exactly. Yes.
Like your children ministries leaders, like they just went on it and they say we got to bring it. It might not look 4K, bro, but you know what? You're connecting with people.
Exactly.
So
Yes.
I think that's the first thing you want to do. And if you're a church that didn't start because you didn't think it'd be too good, I mean, I don't think it's too late to start. It's at least in my
definitely.
part, it's been a blessing. It's been a huge blessing.
Exactly.
People have been
No,
blessed. I've
absolutely.
been blessed.
Yes. Yeah. And I don't know about you, but I've actually I've been seeing more engagement, more attendance, I guess, so to speak, in the live streaming service than I actually have in
In the
physical
building,
church
bro.
gatherings. Yes.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. I'm glad you said that because that's the exact, and I'm pretty sure that's happening with everybody else, right? We've had a
Yeah.
crazy amount of devices connected, and then when
Yeah.
when you see the amount of devices connected, that doesn't mean that that's the only amount of people I've connected, because a lot of times in the homes there's at least 4 or 5 people sometimes watching.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, we've definitely had more people connect for sure.
Yeah.
So I think that's just one of the blessings that you have. But now I mean, it's been a blessing for you. It's been a blessing for me. We encourage, if someone hasn't done it, to do it. It's worth it.
Yeah.
Now, why did we choose specific ones and why did we choose specific others? If you don't mind, I want to start off this one. I said,
Yeah, go for
the
it.
two main live streaming platforms on the internet are YouTube and Facebook. So the best thing to do is obviously to stream to both, right? Like you would want to do that. Given the circumstances and the needs and stuff like that, at least in my case, we don't have that many people who even have a Facebook account.
Yeah.
The advantage between Facebook and or the disadvantages, I would say, between Facebook and YouTube is that Facebook, not everyone you have to have a Facebook account in order to watch, as far as I know. I might be wrong, but
Yeah.
you kind of need a Facebook account to befriend
Yeah.
or like a page and be able to see their
Hey.
online content,
Exactly. Yeah. To engage with them and everything.
to engage and to write and stuff like that. On YouTube, all you need is really, you can go YouTube Live, and all you need to do, it creates a link and you just send it out to everybody, and anybody
Yeah.
can see it.
Yeah.
You can
that's true.
text it, literally
Yeah.
text the link, and all they got to do is click it, and they're watching on their phone. When it's YouTube, it's a lot easier to watch it on your TV. Also, a lot of people have smart TVs, so they can watch it on smart TV and still engage through their phones, through chat and stuff like that. So we went with YouTube right away, and as of now, we're still through YouTube only. We still haven't gone through the Facebook thing, just because the amount of engagement has been going up. Praise God, and people can still engage through chat and stuff, and which is part of
Yes.
what we do.
Yeah.
We wanted also a platform where they could engage. We don't want it to be a show, and I always stress
Yeah.
that to my people. We don't want it to be a show or just hear me. We make it interactive.
Okay.
So now, of course, the best thing would be to stream to both, because the more you can reach people. Some people prefer Facebook Live.
Yes. Yeah.
They just like their Facebook. They really
Yeah.
like the Facebook platform. So just going on there is easier. But I don't know, bro. That we're stuck with YouTube, and it's worked for us. Now we don't do straight from YouTube. We go through Ecamm, and
okay.
Ecamm is. I'm gonna let you go ahead and talk about that one, bro, because that one, you gave it to us, and it's
Okay.
woo, it's great, bro. I love Ecamm, and we're still learning about it. But before you talk about Ecamm, maybe talk about because you're doing to Facebook and YouTube, right? I don't know what.
Yes, yeah.
What benefits do you see in that?
Yeah. So yeah, for us, my members, while a lot of them didn't have like YouTube accounts or anything like that, a lot of them did have Facebook. And so what I realized when I first got here was just that, a lot of people use Facebook, they're on there, they, find each other and they messenger and things like that. So what I did when I first got here was I created a Facebook page for each church. And so I hadn't used it too heavily, just, a couple of announcements here and there. But then with all this happened, I was able to launch it a bit more, and, talking with my elders and stuff. And they said, you know what, not all of us have YouTube, but a lot of us, I think even all of us have a Facebook account. So, they said, you know what, just, let's do it through Facebook Live, and we'll be able to, a majority of us will be able to connect through that. And so mainly, so yeah, we've been pushing our content through Facebook Live, and we kind of use YouTube as kind of like I guess like a storage type of thing for our content.
Okay.
And so I've always kind of told people like, you know what, we're on YouTube as well. But if you want to like share whatever sermons you see, you can just go to our YouTube channel and you can share it from there. So and yeah, like you were saying, it's a little bit easier because then even people that don't have an account can still see that content. And so YouTube just makes it so easy to share with other people what you're recording and things like that. So yeah, so that's kind of the reasoning for us was just like most of my members had Facebook, and so Facebook Live just made sense, and YouTube as a good second option for those that didn't want, or didn't have like a Facebook for whatever reason.
That makes sense, bro. And I think that's good. I mean, in the end, you have to look at your local context, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And adapt to your local context. So in my case, I just saw, I'm not going to, I didn't want to, not a lot of people are tech savvy, so I don't want to add something for them to, on top of what they're already doing, learn something. And I mean, you can. I mean, anybody can learn anything.
Yes,
but
yeah.
I know some people, for example, are using Zoom or stuff like that. But I didn't want them to have to create an account or download an app or do something like that. If most people are already on YouTube, or in your case, Facebook, like just use whatever is at their reach. Now, given that this thing was going to be temporary, right? Well, obviously a lot of things are going to change after this, but I didn't think it'd go on for so long. Now, as time goes by, you can always branch out. You don't have to stay doing it one way.
Yeah, exactly.
Eventually we might start doing Facebook Live too, eventually, if that's something. But as of now, we've seen what works. Obviously, you have to look at you have to measure you have to look at your metrics, how much people are logging on, how many are staying and stuff like that. Look at your membership. One of the things that I do, and it's super helpful, is I just send the link to my church clerks, and they send the link out everywhere, even to the people that we upload it to Facebook. But most of the people log in because the link is shared via messages.
Oh, gotcha.
Via text. That's how people are getting on. And of course, people subscribe to the channel, and that's been crazy, bro. Because in we went from literally 0 to 100 subscribers in this amount of time. And so I mean, of course, we're not a super crazy YouTube channel. We're just a church, and 90% of our videos have been live stream videos. But at least I've opened probably 1 or 2 channels before, and you don't get 104 in just a month, like, at least in my case. Some other YouTubers get that in less time. But for a church, I think that's been a blessing. And when people subscribe, they get the notifications, etc. So, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
But we don't do it directly through YouTube, and you don't also do directly through Facebook, which is one thing. We don't just put a camera and then we go directly to Facebook and press live, or directly to YouTube and press live. We use a third-party option that we can manage and control better, with better qualities, better tools, more tools, I would say. And then we transmit it. That transmits to, or outputs to, Facebook and or YouTube. You want to talk about Ecamm a little bit? Because that's what we use.
Yeah, sure. Ecamm has been fantastic for us as well. And I just had one of my members, one of my sound directors, lead me to it. And I started, I downloaded it. I, started using it, and little by little, just learning about it, watching the training videos. And I just love it because it's easy to use. And you can just share so much through it. It's not just about recording, your sermon or your presentation or whatever. You can share files, video files, slideshows. You can invite people as guests, through Skype to come on. And you can have like different scenes set up that you can just change on your keyboard, with a couple of clicks. And so it just transitions into the different scenes, into the different segments of your live stream. And so that has definitely been very helpful for church presentations. So especially for like things like prayer meetings and the stuff like that. We transition from like the welcome to announcements to prayer time to then the sermon, and really smooth. And people are able to watch it. I've had members tell me like, we put it on the TV, and that's where we watch it. I've had small worship groups, like one or two people come and record some worship songs, and so then I pass that video, during the week onto the through Ecamm, and yeah, it just pushes it out to everything. It's been incredible.
Even right now, this is what we're doing right now, going back and forth with these different scenes is actually part of what Ecamm does.
Yeah.
And of course, we've had to do the little setup, like the whole borders we're doing right now, and
Hmm.
we've had to do that. You kind of have to work that out, but it's not that hard to figure out.
Yeah.
And this whole thing that we're doing, where we're changing scenes and stuff like that, I think it's been a blessing for us too, man. Another feature that
Yeah.
I like is that all the comments are on here on Ecamm, so
Yes.
people,
That is excellent.
we're very very interactive. This is not
Yeah.
just, again, listen to me and that's it. You want to have, and we'll talk about what the benefits are of doing live stream right now, and we'll probably finish off with that. But I think the fact that you have all the comments in one area, I think that's great.
Yeah.
So even though they're writing on YouTube, I'm getting the comments here on Ecamm. It gives because it's connected. Now, if you were live streaming to both platforms at the same time, which is Facebook and YouTube, obviously you'd have to go through Restream. You can
Yeah.
also do that through here, but you'd have all the comments in just one. You still would have all the comments, people from Facebook and from YouTube
Exactly.
in one area. Like, that's
Yes.
amazing,
Yeah.
man. I think that's
Yeah.
great. And you can respond here immediately. Also, you can type and it'll go to Facebook and YouTube. And obviously, you're interacting with them live via the camera. Another thing
Yeah.
is that we can connect. For example, I have a DSLR connected right now. Well, a mirrorless camera, my Sony A7 III, and I know you just bought a camera too.
I did.
So you're about to rock that, bro, soon. But I know you've been using a DSLR before that, right? But I
Yes.
think
Yeah.
you were renting it out from your wife. She was charging you, and then you didn't have enough money to
Yeah.
pay the rent anymore for the camera.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
No, man, that makes sense. But I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's a huge thing, though, to be able to connect
It
your
is.
camera.
Yeah.
Obviously, you need an external thing. I think now with Canons, you can just connect directly.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
Ecamm does
Micro
come at a
USB
charge,
cable.
right? Like, we're here to. Well, I guess we're not getting paid. We wish this is not a sponsored thing. We probably
Yeah.
should have reached out to them first, and we should have just
Yeah.
gone rejected just to be sure. But anyway, the fact that this is the way it works, obviously they're gonna have to charge a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's still worth it. What I think the price is, I think we paid like $240 or $50, something like that, for the year.
Okay.
I think
All right.
that's because we
awesome.
went with the pro version.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. I signed up for the pro. I went with the monthly option because I was just wanted to try it out first and
Okay.
see.
Okay.
But yeah, probably that's something we're probably gonna look into as well.
Yeah, we went with, there was a discount, a percentage discount if you did the yearly thing. So we said, what, let's just pay the yearly thing right away. And fortunately, if you bargain with your conference, they helped us. It came out of evangelism fund, so
Nice.
at
Okay.
least the church didn't have to pay for that, and that's a blessing because not only are we using this for worship services, we're going to be using it to have conversations like what we're having, you and me here.
Exactly.
We're having
Yeah.
conversations. We're going to be using that to have conversations with professionals. Like on Monday,
Yeah.
we have a conversation with a psychologist, and
Yeah.
we're gonna have questions and answers, and she's gonna be talking about anxiety and stuff like that. So, and it's not just for the church; it's for the community. Live stream. I mean, we're promoting it. We boosted it on Facebook. You can use this for so many things for your community.
Yeah.
So it's definitely an investment, and it's definitely something that you guys should look at. So, bro, I really appreciate it. I mean, I'm telling you publicly here. I already told you personally, but I appreciate you letting us know about this Ecamm because I love it, bro, and I'm still
Yeah.
figuring it out. There's great things to
Yeah.
do with it, and
There
yeah,
is.
it is, bro. Now, let's finish off with this, bro. What do you think? How have you done your live stream now? Since we have this thing, how have you done it? Like, are you following? Basically, are you doing the same thing? Because I've seen some churches who basically they still go to the church building, and while I want to be careful not to put that down, I think that's still a blessing to still have
Yeah.
something. But what do you think are, like, I know you and me are doing something similar. We're not doing
Yeah.
a church service at home. Like, we're not doing a church service not at home, at the church building where,
Yeah.
we have the pulpit and we have, we're looking out to the pews, 'cause
Yeah.
like
No.
Brady Shearer said, bro, there's nobody in those pews. People know it.
Yeah.
And if there is, there's an issue. There's something going on there that shouldn't
Yeah.
be happening. But what do you think are the benefits? And we'll finish off with this. We have 24 minutes. We have like 7 minutes. What do you think, man? I mean, have you done that, or what
Yeah.
are you doing?
Yeah, that's a good question. For me, I honestly, I run the live stream from my church office. So like, the setup that you guys see behind me right now, that's usually the setup for the live stream.
Nice.
But I just do it sitting down from here. Yeah, I might, wear a tie or something. But for the most part, it's still pretty casual. And yeah, I try to make it as interactive as possible too. I ask them questions, especially for prayer time. Wednesdays, I try to make it more about praying together. And I always make it a point to try to encourage them, wherever you are right now, gather your family, gather your friends and pray together, while I pray. And so yeah, so it's definitely just been, I try to keep it as simple as possible. Nothing too complicated. When it comes to worship, I do have, I had some of my members, come to the record, some songs, just because I felt like it would be nice for people to get to know them and see them a little bit. But that's been kind of tough to do to keep up. So for the most part, it's simple music, background music. If I have a special music, I'll ask someone to record from their home, from their phone, and just send me the video, and then I just pass that video through Ecamm, and that's made it a lot easier.
That's
So
super
so
great,
yeah,
man.
it's yeah
I mean, I
yeah
think this is an opportunity to be creative, man.
mm-hmm.
It's like you said, it's simple, but you still creative, right? Because we still have to sit down and plan it out
Yeah,
for
exactly.
it to be a blessing for the people and for them to be. I want to make it as interactive as possible. One of the things
Yeah.
that we do is obviously we ask for prayer requests, right? We tell people to write their
Mm-hmm.
prayer requests.
Yep.
We actively tell people to engage and say, hey, write this down, write write what does Jesus mean to you when we have prayer
Yeah.
meetings? What does he mean to you? What is he to you? This is the moment to write it down. Is he your light? Is he your love? Is he your king? Whatever. And people just start engaging, bro, and writing and stuff like that. Um, so I think it's a moment to be creative, but creative
Mm-hmm.
in a way where it's more engaging, bro. Church has become, at least in my case, it's become more engaged. Like
Yeah.
you don't see, if you would transfer this to the church building on a Saturday, imagine having all these people writing or talking in the middle of while you're asking people, hey, what's Jesus to you? And we don't do that in a regular church service. In a regular
Yeah.
church
Yeah.
service, it's more I don't know what the word is. It's more consumer based, right? It's more like, all right, you guys are
Yes.
up there and I do it. And it's crazy that the internet is usually like that too, right? It's more consumer based. We watch videos, we watch YouTube, we just consume, right? We consume
Yeah.
information, we consume data, we consume whatever. But in
Yeah.
this case, it's an opportunity for it to be interactive, not to be just consuming. One time I remember I asked people to say, write down what promise do you go to right now? What promise do you go to in the Bible when in
Mm,
moments of trouble?
mm.
And bro, people started writing Bible verses, like just writing them and saying, "I go to this promise." The other awesome thing that you can do with Ecamm is that you can write the comments, like the comments that they have, you can show them
Mm-hmm.
up on your video, like you can put
Yes,
them
that's been
come
a
out,
lot
they
of
come
fun.
out here. I've done that a lot.
Yeah.
And then so I share the comments of, oh, look what sister said. She said God is this. Isn't that amazing? For prayer request, I also put that. Bro, there's just so many opportunities to be creative, but
Yes.
creative in a way that you can engage, not just put on a show, not just put on something where like, look at us or look what we're doing, but something where the
Exactly.
people can connect, not just with God, but with each other. And that's the
Yes.
main
Yeah.
thing, at least that we have been focusing on. Like, let's connect with God, but let's connect with each other, because in essence, that's what church is. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not just look at the show. And I think this has. It's gonna change the way we see church now. It's gonna change
Oh
the
yeah.
way when we go back and we're telling people like, you thought this was the only way to do church, right? You thought that it was only
Yeah.
about the building and stuff like that, but now you see there's no rule. Where in the manual does it say you have to do it this way?
Yeah.
Like during a
Exactly.
pandemic or whatever, you have to do church this way. I mean, not even the Bible says it, because it changes according to circumstance.
Yes.
But I think
Yeah.
it's brought to our mind what the real purpose is, because maybe we've been too. The church has been all about consuming me, give me.
Yeah.
Even when we're at the building, I
Yep.
think I've had way more engagement now than when I was at the building, bro. And I mean,
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
feedback with the people. People are
Yes.
calling, people are writing, people are emailing. But what do you think, bro? I mean, I think it's an opportunity to be creative, but
Yeah.
help people
It's
engage, not just look at you.
Yeah, it's definitely been a great opportunity to kind of just, yeah, for the church to ask itself, what does it really mean to be the church? And so, yeah, in my context too, we've realized that, yeah, definitely the church is the people, wherever we are, the church is there. And so it's kind of forced us to just kind of look for those ways that we can minister to people, by calling them, messaging them, sharing, our services, things like that. And so, yeah, I definitely appreciate this push and, to kind of just discover and create, what this church is going to look like. Because, yeah, for sure, who knows what normal is going to look like once, we're able to go back and, meet in churches. But I don't even know if we'll be able to go back to normal. Like not only is there
seriously, bro,
the way we do service, but just the way there's just so much trauma we're gonna have to deal with and go through.
Bro, we don't know what's gonna happen, bro. Honestly, yeah, my wife was telling me are we going to go back to normal? Is this the new normal?
Exactly.
Is this the new normal? We have no idea, but at least we get to work with making sure. I think it's been an opportunity for us to reevaluate and say, now we have a different opportunity. Now I'm not just putting hymns now. Now people have a more open mind because people are needing, they just want to connect with God and with people.
Exactly.
And so they're not, at least in my case, I know there's some churches, some brothers who are still fighting about, the tie or stuff like that, or
yes,
or they didn't put hymns, stuff like that. And I think this is an opportunity to probably equip them with that knowledge to say, hey, it's church isn't about that, because at least in my case, we've just had so much connection with our church family, bro. I mean, I talked to you, we were talking before this, and I was letting you know how it's brought us more together. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy how it's brought more unity, and people are caring less about whether, I'm wearing, a hat or whether I have, what I'm wearing or what we're singing. As long as it's glorifying God, it's biblical, and we're connecting with each other, there's that need right now. And I think it's a moment to take advantage of that. And if you continue to do church service live stream the same way you were doing it before, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying you're missing out on an opportunity to connect with people. You're missing out. There's an opportunity there, and I would pray that everyone would take advantage of it, of connecting more with your people. You're not literally, but you're in a way, you're in their homes now, man. You're in their homes. You can talk. You don't it's crazy. So anyway, bro, to finish up, I don't know if you got any last words or anything. I mean, I appreciate people connecting and watching the video, whoever's watching it. Hopefully you guys can share it. We're going to link all the descriptions of the stuff that we use, like Ecamm and Restream and stuff like that, some of the tools that you guys can know. If you guys have any questions, obviously let us know. Send us a message here via YouTube or email or on Twitter, however you guys want. But I don't know if you have anything else to say, bro.
No, I mean, that's pretty much wraps it up. I'm just very excited to connect like this again, and we're gonna do our best to keep bringing you guys more content. But yeah, it's definitely been a roller coaster, but definitely God has been providing, and yeah, all of these technological tools, have been incredible, and very beneficial to use. And so, yeah, I just want to encourage people to, connect and learn something new. You don't know like what kind of blessing it might be for you, for your family, your friends, or even your community even.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Good stuff, man. All right. Well, we appreciate you guys connecting. We appreciate you guys doing this. We're going to try and actually do more live stream type of things. Maybe connect with some of you guys. Maybe we could get it's just we have we have to prepare for services Wednesday, we have to prepare for services Friday, we have to prepare for services on Saturdays. Not only that, that's on top of everything else we have to do. By the way, this whole thing has only brought more work, bro. Like, at least I know in your case we've talked, it's only been more hectic, like crazy hectic. And yet, at the same time, I think it's helped us to be able to organize ourselves a little bit more. It's forced us to organize even more than what we were organized before. And I think that's why we've made time right now. Like right now, bro, I have to go to communion in just a couple hours. We have a communion service. We're doing communion through this. In a couple hours, you have Vespers. You have your, in two different places. So it's crazy how we found the time now and not before. However, whatever that has worked, that was it. But we just want to bring value to people and make sure that we're giving them tools, so that the church can thrive wherever it's at, right? And
exactly, yes.
So anything you guys have, let us know. We appreciate you guys stopping by, watching our video. Let us know if you have any comments, any questions, and we'll be letting you guys know. Hopefully we can do this once a week. And just connect and have those conversations going. So today was basically, it was a combination of Truth and Tech, pretty much. Church,
pretty much.
Church and technology. Little mix there.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining. Catch you guys later, and we'll catch you guys next week, hopefully.
Yep. Bye, everyone.